Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, The Crafty Quinn. My name is Megan and I love to make decor for my home using mostly Dollar Tree items. So if you love decor, DIY decor, or Dollar Tree, I highly suggest you hit that subscribe button. Today's video is part of a playlist with 5 other crafters for a Halloween Boo Box collab, so let's get started. What I'm doing right now is I'm opening up the package that was sent to me by another crafter, Jackie from Crafting in Mimi's World. So for this collab, we each sent each other 10 items, and they didn't have to be just necessarily spooky items. These are just items that we have to work with. There's 10, like I said, and really the goal is to try and use as many of them as you can. I feel like I didn't do such a great job on that. I used as many to the best of my ability as I could. Maybe you'll see some of these that I didn't use in a future video, but you have to keep watching to see which ones I used and just how many from the package I ended up using. And also, definitely check out the playlist to see who I sent a box to. So a lot of this stuff is really funky and really cool to work with. Jackie gave me some really great stuff, and I was so happy, obviously, to get those lights. And then that green little fuzzy thing, I didn't end up using that, but I really wish I could have, because I feel like it could have been a fun little, I don't know, furry green monster or some sort, but that is actually a car detail rag. So jumping right in now to the first craft, I'm using one of these new Dollar Tree pumpkin little signs. They're in the shape of a pumpkin, and so what I'm doing now is I'm just taking the little raffia bow off of this. It's just easier to do because I am going to paint this whole thing. So there's definitely a lot of glue keeping that on, and then we're just gonna go ahead and remove that sticker from the back, and we are actually going to be using the back of this to put this fabric onto. So the other side, that with the glitter, I didn't even bother using my little finger sander on that because I was like, there's gonna be glitter everywhere, so I just ended up painting over it. But I am using that Waverly ink chalk paint, and that is the color that's going to coat this whole thing. I just decided, you know what, let's just coat this whole thing in paint, and you know, that way it's just going to cover up anything that, you know, I don't want that the light color to kind of show through the fabric or anything like that, so let's just cover it all. So this is that Dollar Tree fabric. I have not found any of this in my stores, so this was awesome, Jackie, thank you. But look how cute this like candy corn fabric is, and I only used, you know, a small piece of it, so I still have plenty of it left. And now I'm just using my little ladybug vacuum. I have this linked for you in the description box, but this is what I use to just kind of clean up all the crumbs when I'm doing some DIYs. All of the supplies I normally just link down for you below in my description box, so if you're new here, definitely look for those. So I'm actually just using just a regular piece of chalk here to draw my outline. And that is what I'm just going to use before I cut this out. I needed something that was going to appear white on this little candy corn fabric because it would stand out more than like a black pen or something. So using chalk was perfect, and it comes right off. So I'm just cutting out the outline of it now, and I tried not to go like right up against the pumpkin because I kept getting chalk on it, so it's fine. And like I said, if you do get chalk on anything that you're doing, what's great is that it just like rubs right off, so you don't have to worry about it. So we're actually just going to use some hot glue to secure down this fabric. And a lot of these DIYs today have very, very few steps, so they're pretty quick and easy. I would say the only one is probably the last one in this video has the most steps. So we're just gonna really keep it simple today. So once you have that all secured, you're gonna put the raffia bow back onto this pumpkin. And that's really all there is to it. But I thought this was perfect for a Halloween themed tiered tray. So what do you guys think? So like I said, today's video is part of a Halloween Boo Box collab. So I'm doing this collab with 6 other crafters actually. Melissa Makes It DIY, Crafting in Mimi's World, Jujubee DIY, DIY from House to Home, Freckled Mom DIY, and Learn the Conjurer. So definitely check out their videos in the playlist. And thank you, big shout out and thank you to Melissa Makes a DIY for putting the playlist together, and Learn and Jackie for just making this playlist come together. So definitely check out their channels. I'm going to have them linked down for you below in my description box. So I'm just taking a Dollar Tree foam pumpkin, taking more of that Waverly ink chalk paint, and we are going to coat this pumpkin entirely in that chalk paint. And you're probably wondering why I'm using some googly eyes for this next craft, but I love that she sent me these. I thought about using these googly eyes with that green car rag, and then that would kind of turn it into like a spooky Halloween monster. And what's so great about Halloween crafts is you can be as, you know, as crazy and tacky as you want, and it's the only holiday that I feel like you can just completely get away with making like the tackiest crafts, and it comes out like really cool. So that's what I'm doing. I'm making a really, really tacky craft, but it's fine. So I'm using a wine cork, and that is going to go right back into the, well, not back, but it's going to go into the top of this pumpkin. And y'all know I've been using corks this entire Halloween season for all of my pumpkins, but I don't know, it's just my thing. So we're going to use another item from the package, and that is these they're like gemstone stickers from Dollar Tree. I mean, all of this stuff is from Dollar Tree, really. I think all of it is. So because these are just kind of like in a straight line and they don't, you know, bend or anything like that, what you're going to want to do if you want to put this in kind of like a circular way around this pumpkin to give it that little piece of extra flair on top, I just cut the little, I don't know what you call this, but I just cut the pieces of this into small sections and just kind of like fitted them the best way I could, because like I said, it's just all together in like one straight piece of sticker. So you're just gonna want to cut it into small sections and just kind of like line it up, and that's how you get that like circular decoration on the top of this pumpkin. But I thought just putting these little gems on the top of this pumpkin would give it some, I don't know, some extra flair. And then I didn't like how, I don't know, shiny they were, so I did go back with some more black chalk paint and just go over them and make them more like a matte look. But I really liked the pretty detail of these gemstone stickers. So I was about to say last, but no, this is not technically the last step. This is the second to last step. These are those googly eyes from Dollar Tree, and it's so funny because I always walk by these and I never think of like what to actually make with these things, but I was just checking the label there, and these are not adhesive, so you have to hot glue each one on individually. So I decided to turn this pumpkin into a googly-eyed pumpkin. I was totally inspired by this googly-eyed pumpkin I saw on like a Michaels ad or something a while ago, and I thought it was really cute, so I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna make my own, because that is something that you could do with these googly eyes. And I haven't been able to find that ad again, but I saw this pumpkin a while ago and I thought it was a really cool thing, but they were using, it looked like a more realistic pumpkin that they were doing this on, so I'm like, you know what, it's gonna turn out on this little pumpkin the best. You know, I'll just do the best I can and just see how it turns out. But I actually really ended up liking it, and I think that this could actually go in a tiered tray too. So how the Michaels pumpkin did it was they actually separated every single eye, so it was just like a random like eyeball everywhere, all over the pumpkin. But I decided to go a different route and just put the eyes together so it looks like multiple sets of eyes all over this pumpkin. So this is actually the very last step. I'm using some gold acrylic paint for my wine cork, and I guess I didn't like that it was just a regular wine cork and there was no extra detail on it, and wouldn't be me if I didn't add an extra detail. So I decided to cover the cork with the gold paint and cover up all of the writing on the wine cork. And then this is the end result. And I love how spooky it is. And I can't wait to put this on a Halloween tiered tray. So if you're liking the DIYs, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications so you never miss a new upload. Thank you guys always for supporting us, and we love reading your comments. Now, if you're interested in supporting my channel further and would like to buy me a coffee or craft supplies, there is a link in my description box. And as I mentioned, there are still plenty of free ways to support my channel, such as liking, sharing, or commenting on this video. So with that being said, let's head back to the crafts. So this is actually the second to last DIY in the video. I have this cute little happy fall sign from Dollar Tree. This is one of their new pieces. We're actually just going to take this apart, pop out this back here, and flip it around. So we're going to be using the back of this sign, and we are going to take off this little sticker. I thought the frame's pretty cute as it is. So once you take off the sticker, there is a tiny bit of residue left over, so I just decided to go ahead and use my finger sander and sand the whole thing. By the way, I do have this finger sander linked down for you below. I got it off of Amazon, so that I have a link for you for. So I'm using some white Waverly chalk paint. I covered the entire backing of this in that paint. I feel like I only needed about one layer. So I'm using a hairdryer. I dropped my heat gun a while ago and I really broke it, and I have to order a new one, but I guess I'm lazy and I'm just still using my hairdryer at this point. So we're going to use more of those gemstones that Jackie sent me. And oh my gosh, I can't wait for you guys to see how this one turns out. I am in love with this. And so we're also going to be using these Dollar Tree numbered rub-on transfers that also came in the package from Jackie. So, okay, so I changed my mind a little bit on what style of numbers. I mean, every single number on that rub-on transfer sheet is different, has a different style. But then, you know, you're just going to put them together and see what kind of matches up and what looks the best. So I did go with this style of 1 first, and then I changed my mind. And this style of 3. And I changed my mind because I just felt like, I don't know, I didn't like the style of it. That 3 just looked, I don't know, it wasn't what I was going for. So I ended up going with this Ray Dunn looking 3, and that can be found on that sticker sheet. Rub-on transfer sheet, sorry. So anyway, I practiced drawing a little cobweb on that little piece of paper right there, but it turns out there's a really easy way to draw a cobweb. I've never really done this before, so this was kind of me trying this for the first time. So now I can share with you the trick that I figured out. But you're just gonna wanna draw a line on either side there, kind of at the top and on the side. And what you see me doing here now is I'm actually drawing these lines a little bit thicker because I'm anticipating them being cut off by that frame a little bit when I put it back on. So you're gonna wanna draw 5 lines, and then you're gonna draw upside down U's connecting those lines. And that is what makes it look like a cobweb. So when you want to connect one line to the next, draw that upside down U. And I promise I'll give you guys a better view in a bit. There you can see it a little bit more, but you're literally just drawing an upside down U, and that is what makes it give that cobweb appearance. So I drew another line, and you can see that I glued on a cute little plastic spider there, and that is from Dollar Tree's little webbing pack. And each one comes with about, I don't even know, 5 spiders. So I just cut off, they're like spider rings, and I cut off the ring, and then I just laid it down flat. And this is how it turns out. Got October 31st right there, and I think it's so cute. So this is the next DIY. And by the way, when I was looking at that photo, I feel like it got cut off a little bit, but there is a line all the way from the very top of the frame connecting to the spider. So I swear I'm not missing a line or anything. I just noticed that. And I just wanted to make sure to point that out. So this is the truck that came in that package that Jackie sent me. And I have already made one of these trucks before in my apple orchard DIY video. So I'm actually going to be doing this now a different way. I painted this white at first. I don't know why I'm doing it, but I always paint or something one color and then I change my mind. That's exactly what happened this time. I painted the whole thing white, and then I realized after I did that I did not like it at all. But in the meantime, I'm just going to do similar to what I did in my Apple video, Apple DIYs video, is I'm actually just going to use a piece of paper. Well, I'm using like a cardstock piece of paper. It's really sturdy. So I'm just going to glue that to the very bottom of this and make the truck have a trunk, basically. And that is just enough to be able to, it holds it can hold the things that you want it to hold, and it's just enough to be able to do that. It's just sturdy enough to be able to do that. And I'm actually taking those tiny little mini hay bales from Dollar Tree from their new fall decor, and we're just gonna throw that in there. And I actually decided to kind of connect these a little bit and use some of those Dollar Tree tiny pumpkins as well. So these little tiny pumpkins I have are actually from last year, but they have something similar every year. So I hope you should be able to find these again. And if not, if the ones that you're finding are a little bit bigger, you can always just cut them in half. So, like I said, I changed my mind. I decided to paint it orange, and then kind of have like the lower, just kind of half of the truck or like bumper, more of a plaster color. So it's not a stark white, but it's in more of an ivory color. And I am using some antique wax now to just give this truck more of a vintage look. And this orange color was just a regular orange color that I got from Michael's, and it's a matte paint. And I well, you just saw it, but I did paint the wheels black as well. So we're gonna use this Harvest Wishes sign, and I thought this was the coolest part of DIY, but you're just gonna wanna place this directly onto it, and it fits just enough in between the wheels that all you have to do is just lay it on top of it and it'll stay there. And then when you're done using it, you can take those pieces apart for easy storage. So you do not want to hot glue these pieces down together. And that's how it turned out. But anyway, this is the end of the video. So if you want to check out more videos, watch them here on the left. Make sure to check out that playlist down in my description box, and let's keep in touch on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy your weekend.